Hello, the MFL channel. I don't know if I should say hello the channel or hello the MFL channel because all the channel stuff started up on our site. Anyways, welcome back everyone. Thanks again for watching. As the title would suggest, we've delved in a bit further into MFL. I have bought Dublin, so we now have Glasgow Celtic in Glasgow, and we now have Dublin. Just thought I'd update everyone regarding the plans and also why I've done that, and just show people around a bit more. I know that there are a lot of people on the channel who just been watching the sort of Sorare content, etc., and hopefully some of this stuff will maybe be a wee bit useful for people who have just signed up on MFL as well. Firstly, in terms of the overall sort of strategy, etc., I'm mainly aiming this at having fun. That's the main reason for it. I'll show you hopefully later on in this video one of the wee games that you can watch, and I think there's a lot of fun interaction here. There's a lot of guys signed up who are all in pre-existing groups, etc. There's competitions coming up. Sometimes you're in leagues versus each other. You can run wee friendlies to watch matches and everything as well. Test out your tactics. So we'll delve into that a bit further, but I'm going to put a couple £100 in just to sort of buy some packs, get some players. Already picked up some players who will be free to transfer into the club after the first season's finished. Also, the seasons are a bit shorter, so like sort of 3-4 weeks or whatever is like one season in terms of also the player's age. So you might think, oh, that's rubbish, but if you get a guy who's 16, won't retire for maybe like a year and a half in like real life. If that makes sense, but obviously it's good for the overall ecosystem. So let's have a look, see what we've done. I'll explain and I'll sort of point out some sort of beginner's mistakes or things to look out at as we go. And if you've got any questions about Play MFL or you want to join me with it and have a bit of fun, then the links in the channel, etc., and DMs are open, etc., if you want to have a look. So I've now got two clubs. I've got Dublin MC and Glasgow. Let's have a look at Glasgow Celtic first, and I'll show you what's been sort of happening here. I'm not assigned to a league at the moment because the league had already started by the point where we were sort of going on with things. Okay. Also, I've moved myself up here to just so that you can see a bit better. So I see there's been a couple of games happened so far, but these are just like friendlies. So like people, Kahuna's like sort of challenged me to a friendly, and basically it just runs against your current tactic and just a bit of fun, which is really good. In terms of the overall squad, I've been going for a sort of youth strategy, so I picked up this guy who's like one of the better players. So your different scarcities are like common cards, who are like lower ranked cards, mainly out of 100. The green ones are sort of less common or uncommon, so they're sort of better average players. And then they've got sort of blue cards, which are rare. Then you've got the sort of legendary cards, which sell for quite a lot, actually, to be honest. So I have picked up a good few sort of young guys, etc., and we're in a sort of cup, which is starting soon as well, against all sort of similar players. The one thing you've got to watch out for, you see total revenue share 2%, so you can loan in players as well, but usually you've got to give away a share of any potential winnings. And those winnings only come in the in-game currency, which is called MFL. Now, it's not a cryptocurrency, can only be used in the game to do stuff like send your players to a development centre or to buy some players who are available in a limited amount, actually, to keep the ecosystem right, or to sometimes, I think, use towards specific pack drops as well. So based on the sort of schedule and everything here, I do have some games coming up because we're in the Redemption Cup. So there's a specific cup which is running for people who have just signed up and never managed to get into a league, which is pretty good. The other wee part I want to show you here, which I think is really cool, is like the tactics section of the game, and I'm finding this quite quite good. It's like pretty much like Football Manager, to be honest. So you pick your tactics, how you want to play in terms of your own formation, etc. So obviously, this guy's like my best player, so I've captained him, and he gives a wee boost in terms of specific stats to the rest of the team. Your players can progress as well, so if you get someone who's 16 or whatever, you keep them for a good few seasons, they will progress. They might not become like legendary players or whatever, but will progress and hopefully be worth a bit more money if you want to trade them on. I quite like this section as well. You've got the team instructions. So I'm like, obviously, my best player's on the left. Like, play the ball down the left, play it to that guy. He's my best player. So you've got that. You can, base these tactics on your team. I'm being a bit more direct at the moment because my players aren't really that good. But, obviously, as I get better players, you might want to control the ball a bit more because you're better at passing. Take more shots, take less shots. That's all down to whatever stats your own players have. I find this bit quite important as well, like set pieces. So it's not really so important at Glasgow Celtic at the moment because we haven't even played our first official game yet. But, this guy's obviously on direct free kicks and indirect free kicks. But for my Dublin team, where I've got more established players, there's a guy there who's like 82 for passing, so he's on all the sets and everything. So it's really quite good. And as we go through, after we go into Dublin, etc., I want to show you some more stuff there as well. Before we do that, I want to show you my own headquarters. So what happens in this game basically is that if you buy somebody, you own the player, but then you can loan that player for free for as many seasons as you want to your own clubs, or you can also sort of almost like farm guys out. So you can be like an agent and you can just like buy the best players if you want to, and then loan them out to the higher sort of upper divisions in return for a revenue share. So if you don't want to be as active in the game, you can do that. I have actually bought a couple of players. So these guys who are like 75 rated, 73 and 72 are actually, you'll see, out at other clubs just now. So they're at these clubs in the Iron and the Stone divisions. What the good thing there is, it means that they're playing and they're hopefully progressing. So you've got this sort of player profile and you can see this guy's 85 for defence. So he's a right back or a right wing back, which will hopefully suit my strategy. He's under contract for 1 season, so that means that he'll be a few weeks before he's coming back to me. You can see the radar of all the sort of stats and everything. You can run comparisons, and you can also see this progression point here as well. So you'll see he was a 73, now he's 75, so he's progressing in the right direction, which is really good. And I picked him up for a total of $60. So he'd been sold about a year ago for $25. So that's the thing I would just be careful on just now. The market is quite hot in terms of, there's a transfer window opening and everything. All this feels quite authentic. I mean, I'm quite new to the game, but it seems quite intuitive, You've got a guy, like, is he quick? Is he good at dribbling? Is he good at passing? Is he good at shooting? This guy's a right wing back, so obviously he's 47 for shooting, but he's 85 at defending. I want to play quite attacking, so if he's quick and he's decent at passing and stuff, then that's going to suit me. So I'll decide whether he's going to Dublin or whether he's going to Celtic once we see what's sort of happening. But, I think these guys probably mainly building towards Celtic. Let's have a quick look at Dublin as well. So the first thing to point out with Dublin is I did pay a wee bit extra, that more than you would just actually pay for an outright club. So when you come in MFL, you pay like $80 or something for a club license. Then you've got to get players there. So you see here I paid $150 for it. Now that was mainly because they're in a slightly higher division. As I said, you don't buy the players. You have the benefit of the contracts for this season, which I'll show you for a wee minute. But they're in a slightly higher division, and I wanted Dublin because, like, that's just me. I love Glasgow. I love Dublin. I actually got Irish heritage. Like, people just laugh or whatever. Celtic fans that, but like my family descends from Ireland, so I wanted Dublin. I love Guinness. I don't have any Guinness just now. I've got a Coke Zero because it's during the day. I'm not that much of an alcoholic. So anyway, in terms of Dublin, where are they? And I'm going to explain some of the wee nuances of the game here as well, things to look out for. So sitting third in Stone League, which is like the second one up. So still got a chance of being promoted to a higher division. The squad are all loaned in, so I'm going to have to refill this squad. Okay, so you'll see that there's revenue shares here, and the total revenue share is 66%. So that means that even if I win the division, I only get a third of that. But it does have a lot of like good players, so you can filter up here. See 72, 71, 71, all that type of stuff. So pretty good. You'll see that the agents are all different people. So you become an agent in the game automatically when you buy players. You are their agent, which is quite interesting. So it's a pretty good squad. doing pretty well. Let's say third in the table, which is quite good. And hopefully I can show you one of the wee games here as well. Let me replay it. So this is one of the most kind of fun parts that I sort of see in the game as you build up. So I'm going to move myself out of the way and we'll just watch this match. So obviously you can see the result, but most of the time, you'll just turn up at the allotted time for the game. So you set your tactics and everything in advance of the game. We end up we did win this game, and this just sort of shows you the rerun of the match. So you can either watch the match in like normal speed, which takes like a couple of minutes, obviously, to watch. Or there's also some other filters here if you're watching the highlights. So you ought to watch it maybe a wee bit quicker. They maybe put it to 2x. A bit like Football Manager, where obviously, you could fast forward the games and everything, watch them really quickly. The other good thing is, and people might think this is a good or a bad thing, right? During the game, you don't have any direct control over it. You set all your tactics and everything in advance. So you don't sub players off during the game. You don't have to be around at the specific game time. I kind of like that because I'm pretty busy with other stuff and everything at the moment. So if there's a game that's running at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I might just want to watch it at 7 o'clock at night with no spoilers and just see how it goes. And you'll see it looks a bit like traditional sort of Football Manager and everything here as well. A lot of it's a bit more simplistic at the moment as well. And obviously this is the first season of the game. These things will develop. So you see stats here like possession, etc. XG, expected goals, shots on target. You see a lot of things like corners and everything happening, people getting booked. You can have a look and see how the formations are shaping up, how people are actually playing and everything here as well. As I say, it is quite simplistic at the moment. And what you really want, obviously, is you want to see some goals, which we'll see in a wee minute. Offside's not so good. Anyways, you get the kind of flavour of it, so I'm going to put it on a 5x now so that it's running a wee bit more quickly. Barry Thompson's squad. Go on yourself, Barry! And that's the best bit of it, right? There's a pure fun thing. I don't know, obviously, about anybody else, but if you played a lot of Champ Manager or Football Manager or whatever when you're younger, when it comes up with that goal thing, it just triggers something. It's just when you're always been... So I used to always play Celtic, right? So that's why I went for a sort of Glasgow Celtic type theme. Seattle Orcas actually just equalised just on half time, so I was raging at that point actually when I seen it. But there we go, 2-1 quite quickly after half time. See, I've got this in 5x speed just now. I'm just obviously running a bit quicker because we're doing a video rather than anything else. But yeah, it kind of triggers all your memories of Football Manager and everything. And I've went for the sort of Celtic and sort of buying sort of younger players and stuff as well, because you want to see if they can obviously develop and progress through the game. There's training and everything that happens with the other players, so people can get wee boosts to their stats. And as I said, if you really want to play it in a different way, you can just get loads of players together and just kind of farm them out. My idea is that as I progress and I get better players, some of these 16, 17-year-olds, I might just send them to the progression centre, but you've got to pay an MFL for those. And there we go, 3-1. We got one at the end. It was going to be a nail biter, but 3-1 in Dublin MC. Don't know why it's called MC, because I just call it FC, but Dublin are the winners. And honestly, I just think it's loads of fun. I think there's loads of things you can get into, and come back to Celtic again. I'll show you the guys I bought and kind of some of my reasonings, etc. there as well. So back to Celtic Glasgow. Oh, sorry, they're not. The guys aren't there yet. Actually, they're still obviously owned by me. So I got to go back to my own sort of HQ and everything here, and just show you the players. So this guy I bought, Graziano. I mean, he's got 82 passing, so he's 24. So a wee bit older, and then he's going to be joining. But he'll be my sort of set piece taker. You see, he's got 71 for dribbling. Quite a really good all-round player, so that's why he's 73. So I'm just putting together some sort of pieces there. Again, it depends what you want to do in terms of expense level. This guy went for $35, now I've paid $43. People will say, oh, you've overpaid and everything, but the market's really active because there's been loads of sign-ups and everything just now, and I want to build my squads and everything. So this other guy I bought, Andres Vollmer. Again, he's centre-back. Be careful because you've got to be some people have got players under contract for 3 seasons. So it means if you go and you buy them, then you won't get to use them. They won't return back to you or be able to be assigned out until, basically like 3 months time or something like that in real life, 3 or 4 months time. So, you would need to negotiate like a cancellation of the contract or whatever there, which people are obviously not going to want to do. And he was $34. So he was $28 for 34. I thought, like, that's pretty good. He's only 23. Progression wise, does look as if he's progressing as well. So he's went up from 70 to 72. Some people can be early or late developers, and anything in the 70s seems pretty good. What happens out with this? So we've got the development centre. I can't have anybody at the development centre at the moment because to add players, you've got to have some of the in-game currency, the MFL. I kind of like that because it means that people are just not going to come in and just put money in, and just that like, you've got to achieve that through the games. I think that's actually pretty good. Competitions and everything, I'll be playing in a league sort of later on. And if you go to this scouting section here as well, this shows you a lot of players who are all available. Get out of the way, Andrea, I know now. So these are like players who are free agents, aren't assigned to any clubs. You can sort of filter over here and you can see how active people have been. So see, Quinny's got this guy, but I know from speaking to Quinny that he's going to actually transfer him in the mid-season transfer window that's coming up. And then you've got these guys here who will auto-accept contract offers. So like this guy I've looked at, obviously he's a really good player, he's 77. But if you want to make a contract offer, the guy wants 10% revenue share. So you're going to have to give away 10% of all your winnings for that season. So Sellers has got that up. So might message Sellers, see if he wants to kind of do a deal and reduce that down a wee bit. But yeah, I mean, in terms of what I'm planning to do myself, I want to pick up loan players. So, if you start up and you don't have the funds, you want to give away a bit of revenue share, you can get on with it. I didn't really intend to buy 2 clubs, but now I've obviously got Dublin and I've got Celtic Glasgow, or Glasgow Celtic. I can get on with it and see how we go. So Celtic Glasgow are starting at the very bottom in the Ice division. Obviously, what you can win is reduced there as well, and the aim is to enjoy it, take them up, enjoy all the games and everything. So that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour of what's happening. As I say, I recorded the video because I've bought Dublin now as well. I wanted to kind of explain that. If anybody's interested in signing up, if you use the sign-up link, there's nothing that big financially or whatever in it, but once you buy your initial starter packs, you get a free player, and I get a free player as well. Again, it's like common players, so you get a starter player. You don't get a legendary guy worth hundreds of pounds and all that type of stuff. What I really find proper intriguing about this game though, and you've got like the marketplace and everything here, right? So what I find proper intriguing is, wait, you see this? Now obviously a lot of these guys who are like more starter players are like $15, $10, all that type of stuff. Okay, fair dues. But if you look at the guys who are the higher rarity and above, so rare and legendary, etc. A lot of these guys are listed for like hundreds of dollars. They might think, right, you don't win money in this game, right? So you just so you pay hundreds of dollars for these guys, and then you win MFL, but all you can do with that is buy more players or whatever. But that is the ecosystem, right? Nobody's promising that you're going to get to the end of the season, you're going to win £1 million or anything. The site is obviously quite sustainable because they're not having to pay out money and everything all the time. And then if we get, I don't know why that's not working, but if you change it from the overall ratings, there's some of these guys listed at just crazy prices, the sort of legendary players are like sometimes listed at thousands and things. So anyways, why do I find that intriguing? I just find it dead intriguing. Like, it's not real life players, it's regenerated players. Players start at age 16 and they retire at 32 or 33 or 34 or up to 42, but it's like a hidden rating. So everybody's got like a rating between 0 and 10, and you'll be told at the start of the season what season that person's retiring. So you could get to 32 and the guy could play on at 42. You get loads of use out of them, or at the start of the season, he could just say, yeah, I'm chucking it, I'm doing a Tony Kroos, I am Offski. So yeah, you can take some risks there. You maybe buy a good player who's right at the end. But I think it's really good as well because, these guys are probably going to retire. A lot of the players in the game are going to retire within like maybe 1.5 years, maybe slightly more than that, depending on what age they are just now. But say we're about a year and a half away in real life wise, because that cycles through all the seasons, which are maybe 4 or 5 weeks. So nobody's ever really going to come in and just say, right, I'm just going to buy loads of players, and for the next 10 years, I'm going to have the best team on MFL. You're going to have to be more active, maybe buying, selling, trading, loaning in some players, doing some deals, decent at the tactics. And I'm sure the game will adapt and will improve and everything as well. So there we go. And there are some planned pack drops and everything as well. So that's planned for Wednesday night. So, the pack prices aren't too ridiculous, to be honest. I mean, your starter packs are $7, $6.99. You get 2 players in each one of them. Then these ones are a bit more expensive, but the odds in getting a good player are a bit better, So this one, if you buy the big pack, which is $120, you get 3 players and you're guaranteed to get like somebody who's good in that. So, you'll get at least 1 rare or better, 1 uncommon or better, and 1 common, and you're getting 3 players. So all seems fair enough, to be honest. And obviously, because the game's making its income and everything that way, maybe one day there will be some cash paid out to tournaments or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the plan of the site is, but the team have been pretty good so far. I've had a chat with them, and I just want to play for fun. Honestly, like, I'm not putting money into this thinking, right, put in a couple £100 and I want to win it back by next week or whatever. It's not that type of site, but I just find it proper intriguing that people are willing to pay like £300 and £400 for like fake strikers who are like 20 years old or whatever. And it's obviously then relying on you do well with your team, you win some MFL and you buy other players, and then someone's got to buy them. So there's going to be winners, there's going to be losers. Not everybody who comes in are all going to be able to win, but the main thing that you're going to get out of it is you're going to get enjoyment and engagement. And I think that's really quite cool. So anyways, on that note, I'm going to end. We'll be doing some more content for MFL stuff as we go along. I might obviously video or record the pack openings and things as well. We'll get that posted up at some point this week, and then we'll see how much I'm enjoying it, etc. As I've said many times before, a lot of the stuff that we're going to record or mention on the channel is just stuff that I enjoy. I don't tend to get involved in things that I don't actually play myself. So if you're coming on, you're like, oh, he's just trying to get us to sign up for the site. Like, I get like a common guy worth $1 or whatever. Like, I'm not doing it for that. It's good to see a lot of people signing up, enjoying the game. A lot of existing guys who are maybe not having so much fun in some other stuff, and are kind of coming across just to obviously enjoy things. And I just think it looks like a really fun game. So anyway, thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe on the channel as well, because that does help everybody else. And we'll be back with some more content soon. Thank you.